BFM 89.9, I'm Amir Ruslan, filling in for Audrey Raj, who isn't feeling too well. Audrey, get well soon. Clearly there's been too much football. Let's continue on with the World Cup quickie. As the saying goes, better late than never. It took 79 minutes for France to hold an advantage against Nigeria when Paul Pogba headed in a corner by Mathieu Valbuena to take it 1-0. But the game was in no way certain for Les Blues, with their African opponents playing dominantly until 2 minutes into injury time when Nigeria's Joseph Yobo scored a goal! An own goal! So it's a 2-0 win for France as they move into the last 8. And if you thought that game was intense, you should have seen the other game between Germany and Algeria. High-flying Germany struggled against Algeria and it was a goalless draw at the end of 90 minutes. But 2 minutes into extra time, Andre Schürrle turned the tide of the game with a strike courtesy of a Thomas Müller move. Germany doubled their lead with Mesut Ozil flicking on a beautiful goal. Despite Algeria fasting for Ramadan, they weren't ready to give up. A minute after Mesut Ozil's goal, Abdelmoumine Jabou slid in to cannon a late consolation goal for the brave losers. Now this morning's results mean there's going to be an epic clash between European giants France and Germany. Who do you think is going to win? Let us know in the comments. So tonight we'll have another pair of hotly anticipated games with Argentina playing Switzerland and Belgium facing off the US. And now, Lee Chwi Lynn.
Thank you, Mimi. Good morning, everybody. I am Lee Chwi Lynn, and these are your morning headlines for Tuesday, July 1st, 2014. And in the papers today, it's disease, corruption, terror. It's just another good old day in KL. So, the Malay Mail, and yet again, huge fan of this front page, and not even ironically, really enjoying the juxtaposition of saying that there will be food and water during El Nino, as well as this coverage over here of dengue cases, because that really is pretty much what we're worried about at the moment. The weather causing there to be not enough food and water, and the scary rise in mosquitoes and mosquito bites. And why are we worried about this? Well, as the Star points out, if you can take your eyes off Malaysian envoy in sex case, there are killer bites going on at the moment. With dengue, of course, hitting a major high with an increase of 228% of deaths from the same time last year, and a new case of Japanese encephalitis, which the Sun cover. JE boy in coma. A 12-year-old pupil was confirmed to be infected with Japanese encephalitis and is currently still unconscious in a hospital. This happened in Georgetown, and they're asking for investigations as the school is located only 2 kilometers away from a pig farm. So with the rising numbers of mosquitoes, it really is cause for concern. And leading to the next major story or major theme of the day, it is corruption. PWD director jailed a year, fined 1 million ringgit for misuse of his authority, basically ensuring that a company owned by his younger brother got a subcontract for a larger job. Utusan Malaysia are going pretty full tilt on how we will not be able to get rid of gambling and gambling machines. It's a pretty big story. We have the most complete laws trying to govern against illegal gambling. However, until they are actually enforced and until corruption is gone, nothing good will happen. Berita Harian, continuing on the corruption thing, Sogok guarantee lulus. Now, I don't know why anybody is pretending to be surprised by the fact that you can buy your license in Malaysia. Berita Harian, get with it. We have Sina Harian going risiko Huru-Hara, and this is to do with the fact that Tun Dr. Mahathir has essentially said, if we repeal the Sedition Act, chaos will happen. And Sina Harian really driving the point home with people in gas masks, with people running from the cops. What next? Stick figures to scare people? Not a fan of this front page for many reasons. Firstly, the fact that we're still talking about the Sedition Act. If the theme last week was to move on, I would say the same applies, and I would say that specifically to our former Prime Minister, but don't tell anybody. And the New Straits Times have gone with Terror 101, and they have a multiple page coverage in the paper examining new terrorist groups in Malaysia and saying that there's a tier 1 personality who's in a great position to recruit new members. So ongoing coverage of the terrorism threat within. And Harian Metro have gone with perhaps a more traditional take. A Datuk who was kidnapped for 4 days. They asked for 2 million, his family gave 700,000, he's been returned. So a discount of, how much is that, Josh?
More than 50%.
A discount of more than 50%. Just a little antidote for today's, darkness and disease. We have ongoing coverage of Firdaus, who's going to be relocated treated by the welfare department along with his brother, so he won't be alone. And my word of the day comes courtesy of Berita Harian, guarantee. As in, good lord, I cannot believe they spelled the word like this, but also as in guaranteed corruption, guaranteed license, and guarantees that the government needs to make in order to protect us from El Nino and the mosquitoes. This has been your morning headlines. I'm Lee Chwi Lynn, BFM 89.9.